Mustafayev, killing it on OBS. We have yours truly, Jason Asenso, Norma D. Baker, as the interviewers, setting up a real interesting video. I'm going to take care of this guy today. We're going to find out what he's all about.
And here we are.
That's good, right? Slip this one out of
Good night. Well, we're on our way. Thank you for coming to Haven today. Oh, we're very glad to meet you. We hope you come back. So good long and good night. Thanks for coming to Haven today. For Haven today.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, we said Haven. Help me with this. Check it up there.
And here we are.
Welcome back to another episode of Providence Haven Live. We're here today with a special episode. We are doing a real in-person interview of a man that we all love and respect. He has had a really special day come up in this week on April 22nd. You see, he runs a YouTube channel called Ri4CTV, and today is a celebration of what he calls the first Foresight Day.
So without further ado, Nick Anthony Quatch, everybody. Hey Nick, how you doing today, pal?
Fine, thanks.
It's good to hear. And it's good to hear that what you've been doing has lasted more than 1 year. But as of today, the way you told us, Ri4CTV is now having its anniversary.
Yes.
How do you feel about it?
Great. I feel great.
Yeah?
Yes. I did not think about it until the week arrives.
Uh-huh.
So
Was I there the moment?
yes.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Something I've been wondering for a little while is what was the thing that made you decide to start putting out one video every single day?
I believe that I'm like most people, very unaware of my desire to do anything in front of the camera at all, because my work was mostly with computers and not with the public. So I did not think of doing anything like YouTube or
Or a website builder?
exactly.
Or a magazine?
Right.
And I could go on with your accolades.
Right. So in December 2018, I presented my philosophy to a teenager. His name is Shabelle Hackham. But at that time I realized that the too much philosophy is too complicated to present and make someone to understand it within 24 hours, let alone 24 minutes. So I decided to approach it differently by presented him with only 3 concepts: journey, success, and wealth, and give him 3 thumbnail definitions from Tumo slang what they are. To my surprise, only those 3 sentences was enough to change his life, and I was shocked.
That's pretty impactful.
Yes.
My whole life I've been interested in building a business, but I've never really had a chance. I met my mentor, Nick, in December in 2018, and he gave me opportunity, and we had a meeting, a business meeting. I remember showing up at the meeting, blind as a bat, didn't know what to expect. Nick told me a couple of definitions that blew my mind. I looked at the concepts a different way. Journey, wealth, and success. He told me that journey meant self-discovery. Success, peer recognition. And wealth, that means passive income. In the beginning, I thought that journey was just an adventure that you take in life, but turns out I've taken a lot of adventures, but in reality, I've never had a journey before in my life. Success, it's pure recognition, but I've accomplished a lot of goals, and that's what I thought success really meant. Really, I accomplished a lot of goals, and even then, I still don't have any success. Here's what I believe. Without knowing what wealth is, it's nearly impossible to become wealthy. It's like saying you want to become president but know nothing about the White House. That's why the first step to create wealth from empty hands is to understand what wealth means. Wealth means passive income. I thought that wealth meant being rich or having a lot of money. That's why I worked myself to death, 60 hours per week, 2 different employers. I'm still not wealthy. I'm still a teenager.
So shocked that I decided that from that time on, that would be my approach. Not to talk about the rules of too much philosophy anymore at first. Instead, I would focus on its nomenclature.
So it sounds like, and just to give the viewers a better idea of what you're talking about, you had a philosophy that the way you explained it to us, you felt was too constricting to the way people learned. So that's when you upgraded it, if that's what you can say it is, to a nomenclature?
It's not an upgrade, but it's a separation between, basically the philosophy has 2 components, the roots and the nomenclature. And I decided that the nomenclature by itself is powerful enough. So there's no need to allow the rules to drag the conversation or the initial conversation down with new people. And so that was my theory in December 2018. And then in a few months later, I met a 31 or 32 years old guy. His name is James Satito. And I succeeded. He was the second person that I succeeded in presenting too much philosophy without the complexities of its rules. Just talk about the basic terms and presenting its not too many, but only a few concepts should be enough to bring shock and awe to people. And of course, as soon as his life was changed, Jim's life was also changed. In fact, on camera, because he, as we discussed, he helped me to understand the difference between working in English improvement, working in versus working on your life. he
In versus working on.
yeah, he taught me that lesson on camera.
To clarify, could you give the example of working in a restaurant and working on a restaurant?
Yeah, so again, if you are a restaurant entrepreneur, and you really want to grow that business and exceed, right? You probably should not be the guy that's chopping tomatoes. You should be the person that's looking at how to evolve your menu, how to bring new customers into your restaurant and truly grow your restaurant business. How to train and make processes for your employees. But again, if you're chopping celery and tomatoes and you're bussing, you're washing dishes, then you're working within your business and you're not working to grow your business.
So working on something means
Step back, analyze, decide what you want it to become. Have an end goal. What do you see is the best case scenario for what you're trying to build? Know what you're trying to build and know where you want to get that thing, and then work towards it. That is, what do you need to do to get to that place where you want to go? That's how you work on a business. Working in a business helps the day-to-day, but it's not going to help you reach your long-term goals. It might help you in that hour, that minute, that one plate that you're bringing to that table, but it's not going to help your future.
And the late the discussion with him brought us to the topic of how to spread too much length. And of course, at that time, I had plenty of experience with YouTube, but it was more like a hobby and less like a professional endeavor.
Sounds like a powerful lifestyle. And I know, Jerison, you had a question.
Right. So just to be clear for the watcher, I asked Nick Anthony about the decision that he made to go into doing Ri4CTV every single day. And Nick is sort of telling us in a long style of that, how a personal philosophy of his that he developed alongside a few other people kind of sparked the initiative for him to then go on and start making videos more regularly so that he could create a better platform, right?
And in April, James asked me, why don't you step it up and focus more on the viewers? And a way to focus on viewers is to give them a fresh video every day. He did not say it in so many words, but I took it that it could not be just once a week anymore. It has to be more than once a week. So at that time, I decided to go for it. And
Day in and day out, you're grinding it out.
yes.
So let me hear your ideas on what you wanted to present to the world, because I have watched a lot of what you have on Ri4CTV's YouTube channel, and it's everything from skateboarders to singers to yours truly having an NDBaker93 episode to Jerison Asencel going through doing his leg lessons with me to so many other endeavors here in Providence. So is there anything that you're trying to do in particular with the Ri4CTV YouTube channel?
I think that NDBaker93, the YouTube series, your email name,
Yeah, legit.
NDBaker93, is out of my expectation.
Really?
Yes. On April the 22nd, I was basically a one-man show, and I did not expect it to turn into a daily show with a serious name, NDBaker93. Thanks to you.
Thanks to a chance meeting.
Yes. So, if you don't mind, ask your question again.
So my question was, what is your intention when you started Ri4CTV's daily upload to express? What is your message that you're trying to convey, or what is your purpose of doing it daily?
Yes. Initially, I told myself that selling your philosophy is not the way to go. I had that experience the year before. I created the YouTube channel initially, and I did an episode on myself with a simple smartphone.
I remember you telling me about that, and you said you were plainer than white bread.
Yes. And after I looked at them, I decided that selling philosophy is not the way to go. And filming myself is not the way to go either. And even I felt boring watching videos of myself.
Oh my goodness!
So that's why.
Wow.
That's why a year later, not a year later, but in the following year, I created the YouTube account in the summer of 2018. But in April of 2019, I decided that I'm going to stay off of the camera. I'm going to stay behind the camera, number one. And number two, I'm not going to sell the philosophy directly anymore. And number three, I want to focus on promoting the channel at first and not worry about the philosophy at all. And that's why I started to go around and look for subjects and topics and
like me and you, bro.
Yes,
Man.
and that's why I went around Providence on my bicycle, and to my surprise, there was never ever any day that I rode the bicycle around the town and I could not run into a random person doing a unique, different kind of activity. And so that was how I built up more and more fresh videos every day with various topics independent of my philosophy.
Absolutely. You're a gravitating kind of guy. And I can recall the day that you and I met.
The tits. The tit in the tit.
P-birds, look at the
Tit and
tits.
tit.
I like
The
a,
tits.
I like a 7 at the tits.
I want the tits with my baby. With the
You know, that's French, basically.
yeah.
Voulez-vous causer avec moi ce soir?
Tit 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 tit.
You know what you do. Double D's.
Double D's.
Voulez-vous causer?
Double D's.
Double D's.
Double D's.
Voulez-que?
Double D's. Some of these.
What's up, P-birds? Coming to you live from Trinity Plaza, where you can get a good beer here. You can ride with the skaters there.
I will just watch people fall.
That's usually pretty good.
That's awesome.
Except when I fall.
Then I laugh more. I run you over.
I think I'm gonna ride my bike, see what it's like. It's been a nice day here.
Really?
Yeah.
Has been?
Alright, I'm gonna ride my bike for sure.
You're out there with your camera. You're filming the local scene, Providence. We were in Trinity Plaza, actually.
Yeah.
And you just wanted to capture the Providence story you told me.
Yes, yes.
Do you recall the day that you met Jerison? Could you tell us in some detail?
Yes. Because I watched that video 1,000 times.
That's a video that you uploaded to Ri4CTV, right? What's the name of it? Do you guys remember? It's not from the
In a
mind.
tree?
Yes.
In a tree? Oh, that's awesome! That's literally how we met you, right?
Yeah.
You were just in a tree.
Uh-huh.
And who was the friend that you were with?
A girl named Brianna.
Brianna.
Yes.
Brianna.
Yeah, pink hair, Brie. That's what I call her.
Cool. Big haired Brie.
Yeah.
So what? You just saw this dude in a tree, literally.
Yes. And At the time,
So crazy.
at the time, I did not know, but he was flirting, and if I knew
Mm-hmm.
that he was doing something like that, I would never interfere.
Oh, I'm so glad you misread that.
It's a very great thing.
Hey, like without you misinterpreting that social situation, none of us would be here.
So many things wouldn't have happened.
Right. We would have gotten close.
Because in a million years, in my mind, I would never think of anything like that when you are in the tree, in the middle of downtown. I thought maybe just a bunch of people hanging out. That's all. But the reason why I did not understand what was going on was because I was very far away from the conversation. I didn't hear anything, for one thing, and for another thing, I could not see really what's going on, what was going on in the conversation, or how they behave, because I was very far away, and in the tree, it was so green, forest green, and the reason why I noticed them was because everyone was wearing red, and when you see bright red on bright green in a sunny day in the middle of the downtown, I told myself that I don't care whatever they're doing, I'm going to get them on film.
And maybe, Alec, you can pull up the video, the picture, so that the viewers can see what the picture that he's talking about.
Oh, the thumbnail of the video.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would take a moment.
Yes.
Give me a second, and I'll bring it up for the viewers.
Cool.
My name's Jackson. Her name's Brianna.
My name's Brianna.
She likes to be called Daisy.
My name's Daisy. My alter ego is Daisy.
And I met her at a party like a couple weeks ago. Hurry up. Are you good?
But then, so what happened next from your perspective?
What happened next was that I did not understand why. I filmed you guys climbing down of the tree, and then I wanted to have more contacts to do follow-up interviews with set. It's a standard procedure that I would do whenever people are receptive to the idea. So I asked for contact, and I did not.
How did you ask for contact with these two lovebirds up in a tree? You just shout at them?
No, they were down on the ground already.
Okay.
Yes, but what I did not understand was why Jason was laughing the whole time.
Jerson, Jairson. Email.
Oh, we still have the mics on.
Of course, they're gonna hear all of this.
And
This guy laughed? What?
Yes. So I now I know that it has something to do with the flirting and less to do with the camera and me. But at that time, I did not understand why he was having a reaction that different from other people. But now I know that it was part of the other business.
What a beautiful start to a relationship, you two. Really, slow clap, because that sounds so authentic and natural, and you literally just wanted to film someone in their natural habitat. And you were being majestic and charismatic and flirtatious, and that's something that everybody aspires a little bit to be like.
It was very well situated, and I love that it happened. It's a memory that I'm going to cherish the rest of my life. I hope you do too.
Yes. And that's why I show it to everyone and anyone who spends time with me.
Respect, Nick, respect. Well, that's a great segue into building relationships, which is what I know you are all about with committing to Providence Haven and Ri4CTV, and about showing what it is to respect each other.
1,800 miles away from where I sit today, as I left my son on his first day of school, it had dawned on me that I had been a father by default. I was only reacting to the human condition. When my son was hungry, I fed him. When my son felt cold, I gave him warm clothes. By the time I reached the stop sign near the school, I was still not a father by design. As I grew up, I saw how my parents did their things. I saw many parents in real life as well as in fiction, but I did not like almost all of them. Either they have too many rules, or worse, they have no rules at all. They often break half of the rules they made and keep revising the other half. My parents brought me to Texas, where I did high school and college. My degree in mathematics brought me a career in software testing. This career turned me into an expert in quality assurance. For clarity, I would like to explain the difference between quality assurance and quality control. Quality control is the art of eliminating defective work after it is done. When the work is way too expensive, we cannot afford to wait that long to find out. Quality assurance is the art of doing quality control long before the work is over. The objective of quality assurance is quality forecast based on known work processes. This gives management a chance to eliminate defects before the work is done. Such quality forecast is impossible without a shared understanding of terms and concepts. While my son was sailing through his first week in first grade, I spent many hours every night thinking about how I would apply my professional expertise to parenting. The target product is neither a piece of hardware nor software. The current target of quality assurance is the target version of my son 12 years later. It took me 7 days and nights to come up with a mantra as one and only one lesson for my son throughout his first year in school. The mantra has only 5 words. 11 years later, at the same neighborhood in North Texas, my son began his last year at a senior high school, which accepts only students in 11th and 12th grade. At the time, his high school had almost 1,700 students. To my surprise, he became the homecoming king that year. When he graduated from college with a degree in broadcast journalism, he got a job with a major professional sports league. The mantra I gave him in his first grade has only 5 words, but it made a major contribution to his success in life and to my success in parenting. 18 blocks away from where I sit today. In fact, on Henderson Bridge, across the Second River, a foreign student shared his life stories. When I found out he was having ongoing problems with the relationship with his parents, I shared with him the one and only one lesson I gave my son in first grade. Every week, I told him, in first grade, I reminded my son of the same lesson. The lesson has only 5 words in a mantra. Why don't you try this for size? I offered the mantra. 6 weeks later, I got an email from the foreign student thanking me for he no longer had problems with his parents. That was in 2014. The email gave me a shocking realization of how important, how consequential the mantra was, not only to my son's life in his youth, but also to the life of a random, grown-up college student at Brown University. English is not my first language. I spent my professional years in IT, not in humanities. I never expected to see myself as a writer, let alone an author. The email gave me a compelling reason to write about the mantra. To my surprise, I was introduced to my co-author in 2015. 2 years later, we published our book on the Tumas language. The first term in this language is in fact defined by the mantra I came up with 18 miles away from where I sit today. The mantra is the most consequential story of my life. It has only 5 words. Respect. That means no interfering.
And based on the foundation of what Ri4CTV is, do you plan on creating any kind of relationship with viewers? Do you want to create a relationship with the city? Is there any particular sort of connection you want to make out there? And if so, what do you tend to do with it?
Yes. This is a loaded question.
Yes, it is.
So maybe I need your help to break it into similar questions so that I don't feel overwhelmed as I try to answer.
You got a way to rephrase that?
Yeah, we can focus on one segment and then maybe move on to the others if we don't have enough. I would ask you, what is the relationship that you want to build with the people of Providence?
Yes. I do not believe that I'm capable of having a relationship with the people of Providence personally, because I tend to enjoy thinking more than speaking.
Okay.
And I prefer to work in the back office more than in the front office. And that's why NDBaker93 is a dream come true for me, because of you, Norman, and you, Jason, when I see that you are able to do the relation things with Providence, then I don't have to worry about that. And so that is how I see the relationship between me and Providence. It's indirect.
Wow. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're a big part of that. Like, I feel appreciated. I mean, no, this is me picking you, man. Like, you could be doing all this on your own, but you apparently have your own way of controlling the situation, and you're really giving us not just a liberty, but a lifestyle to grow upon. And you're providing us with a broadcast system, providing us with ways to connect with people, providing us with forums and magazine sites to write and articulate our thoughts and feelings.
It's
pretty cool.
Thank you. I'm losing my thought. Let's see. So I focus on building relations with people in the front office rather than relation with people of Providence directly. Partially because of too much philosophy. If I don't want to be a hypocrite, I need to be the first to practice all of the rules in this philosophy, right?
Heard that.
So one of the ideas in too much philosophy is that I cannot and I will never be able to run the my business of the self by myself. I need to have the second mind, and NDBaker93 is in fact my second mind. You are my second mind, and because of you, Norman D. Baker, because of you, Jason Ascencio, and of course Alex Mustafaev, because of you guys. That's why.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry if I haven't been talking much. I'm very focused on keeping this live stream looking as good as possible.
I totally get it because I worked behind the camera for 12 months every day. Yes, and because of you guys, that's why I systematically have a second mind in my business of the self, meaning that if you guys do not applaud what I have to say, I would not be telling other people. And whatever I have to say, it has to be approved directly and indirectly by the majority of our group before I feel like it's time to put it on camera for everyone else to
Wow.
And that's how my second mind works. NDBaker93.
Appreciate that.
Okay, we have to do this again.
have any plans for the future of Ri4CTV? Have you been thinking about having maybe other shows besides NDBaker93, or have you been thinking about what else you want to promote on the YouTube channel besides what you've been doing currently?
I did many series. One of them was just an action show. It was supposed to be one of the biggest series of my life. And I did many other series on, I did many different stories, but from my experience with NDBaker93, the YouTube series, I decided that it would be easier to focus on running a show as the stage and then bring in the topics than to try to do many different shows and get not, the audience may not be confused, but myself, I don't want to get myself confused in terms of mindset and development skills. So I prefer to focus on NDBaker93 and make it as great as possible instead of trying to come up with new programs, because it's like this. YouTube is a platform. Why should I try doing the same on other platforms? Ri4CTV is a channel. Why should I do a second channel? So the same logic goes with NDBaker93 as a daily show, because I don't believe that we have enough human resources to make too many shows that are great before we can make the first show incredible first. And so that's my vision for my personal activity. That is not to say that I'm unwilling or unable to do other series for other people. In fact, I'm the one that offers my skills under the name of YouTube PVD to anyone who's interested in doing their own series or just doing a mini series to tell their story.
Did you hear that, folks? Nick Anthony Quach is up for hire. You gotta look him up. No joke. He's got 4K quality, editing software, plenty of patience, and the will to get you onto the track towards your dream. He's got all the equipment necessary, providing the facility, providing the tactical and emotional necessities that promoted us, that has got us to be here today to say and question what you do. And maybe Nick Anthony can get you too on film. So what'd you say it was?
YouTube PVD.
YouTube PVD. Don't tell her to be, sweetheart. I already know what it is.
YouTube PVD.
Yeah. And where can we find YouTube PVD?
Ri4CTV.com/YouTube PVD.
Hi viewers, and welcome to YouTube PVD, where you and your friends can come together and work with us in our YouTube creating facility and bring your vision to the internet.
Okay. Cool. So in terms of NDBaker93, how would you say personally that we could upgrade or increase the quality of NDBaker93 and take it to the next level?
If I may, I would like to ask you, what do you think or how do you feel is the next level, since you are one of the co-host of this program, NDBaker93. Because as a back office guy, I should support where you want to go rather than telling you where you should be going. So, what do you think is the next level of success for the program NDBaker93?
Well, what's funny is Norman and I were actually talking about Ri4CTV a little today, as Norman was looking through a lot of videos because he was preparing a little bit of an intro. And one thing that we really felt is that the way that the YouTube channel is set up isn't really connecting to the audience. They go to it and they scroll and they see NDBaker93 season 18. They see Tumo Slang 101. They see all these different series, but they don't really have clear descriptions. And they don't really, like when I see that there are 18 seasons of a YouTube channel, of a YouTube series, I'm first off like, that's a lot of videos. I don't know how much.
No joke.
I don't know how much is in each of those seasons, but I know it's been a lot.
I can jump in right there and say that one of the seasons has 43 episodes.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Right.
Even if that's 43 episodes of 3-minute videos, that's a lot of content. And something that we were trying to figure out today is presentation.
And let me tell you two things. Number one, related to what you have to say in terms of the complexity of what's presented on the homepage of the channel on YouTube. And the other thing I want to say is related to the content of the complexities of the content of NDBaker93 Daily Show. In terms of the confusion that the audience would have when they explore Ri4CTV, the channel, that is the result of me intentionally not to pay attention to that, because I decided that that is the work to be done by people in the front office. And if nobody's doing it, I should not pretend like I can do that battle by myself. It's partially because the mindset of the back office people. I need to focus on being the best back office person, not worry about making the channel friendly to viewers, because that requires a different kind of mindset.
Mm-hmm.
To make it easy for viewers to understand what I'm talking about, try to go out and meet someone that you like to hang out a lot, and decide if you want to that person to be your future spouse, and at the same time you want to have instant gratification with that person right away. Basically, on the one hand, you wanted to have long-term relationship with this person. On the other hand, you want to make it one night stand right away with that person. That kind of confusion is what happens when you try to be so good in the front office as well as in the back office at the same time. And I decided that I don't want to be confused in my work. So that is a piece of work that one of us other than me needs to take up on the one hand. On the other hand, the complexity of so many seasons and so many episodes in NDBaker93 has been intentionally done that way, because Alex and I discussed that 1,000 times also. And Alex wanted And many people wanted to have a normal series with seasons and episode that tells a normally expected story or plot, a sequence of events in a chronological order or some order. But that is not what NDBaker93 is all about. It's not about telling the story of a person. NDBaker93, the way it works right now is not telling the story of a person or the story of a group even. It's simply the raw capture of the grown up of members of our excuse me.
All good, Nick. All good. Trying to hear out what you're saying.
So basically, NDBaker93 is not even a documentary, but it's a capture of the grown up of several individuals, namely Norman, Jason, Alex, and their friends in Providence. And even that mission alone is already overwhelming in terms of the amount of work. The proof, for example, one of the videos that we had was the love video or the belt video. Alex wanted me to produce those videos many, not weeks, months, but I did not have time to produce. So it's not about trying to tell any story. It's about being overwhelmed in making sure that your growth is captured, not even documented, because storytelling cannot be done at this time with so few resources in terms of human availability. But so I just do my best to capture your growth when and wherever we can pull it. That's the only thing.
Sounds fundamental.
Yes.
But it doesn't sound like Harrison had a chance to offer up his opinion or our conversation on what we thought could be improved by Ri4CTV. We both understand that you want to tell a story of what we're going through, and it's natural, raw footage, because authenticity is something that society lacks at large. Absolutely. And we want to be able to exemplify our authenticity with some kind of velocity. Because a lot of what we're going through is exceptional. It is the sharpening of our mind. And yet, we're not able to conduct it in a deliberate manner. It's merely us having reaction. It's us going through your process of doom and slang. But it isn't showing how others can do it. We are totally missing out, I think. And I didn't say this to you. But I think we're totally missing out on an opportunity to show what is happening in our mind and then repeat the process. People are going to have different variations of doom and slangs, and what they go through with each video and with each new person that they watch. For example, when we watched Ifani, we started understanding what reciprocation is. We took a whole nuance to what respect is and what it means to be a wholer, more full human being. But just witnessing us go through that experience, I don't think everybody can relate to that. I think there needs to be a way for us to systematically show that we've been growing.
Yes, and that is a challenge for the front office people, you guys, to tackle, because I can only focus on the raw skills of filming and editing and supporting wherever you want to take us with the show.
Well, Norm, it sounds like you want to be teaching people. That's what I'm hearing. Is you want Ri4CTV to be teaching people, because otherwise they're just going to watch us being taught, and they might not really benefit from that, because our experiences are unique to us and might not be, what's the word, tangible for others. Am I hearing that correctly?
Yeah, you're putting it into pretty good words. Yeah, I think it's tough for people to relate to what we're going through because they're simply witnessing our learning experience. And if we get to teach people what this social movement and understanding is doing internally to us, and in return how we perceive the world, by maybe creating a curriculum or courses, or in the end of the day, our version of TED Talks, our version of a lecture. That way we have steps towards how to become a more respectful human being, how to actually love somebody. And if we took time to create a course or create a video in that manner, then maybe we'll be able to get people, we'll be able to retain viewers, and we'll get more people out there, because it's now become a presentation rather than a witnessing.
Yes.
It's more inviting. Let me pull you into my presentation rather than just see whatever's going on with me.
Yes, and I would love to see that. I'm willing and able to help with any presentation.
All right.